Hello all, welcome to today's lessons on business plans. Our objective today is to try and make sure we understand why business planning is important and what role it plays in startups, similar to what you're doing with your work, and what the contents of a business plan are. These are the key terms we're going to be using, and one of the activities today is just making sure that you've completed the key terms on the sheet that you've got. So business plan, business planning, risk, uncertainty, profit and revenue. A lot of these we would have come across before anyway. So first of all, what a business plan is. Basically, it's what a business is trying to achieve and how it's going to go about accomplishing it. What are business plans for? Well, they're used for a variety of things. They're going to be used to secure finance or bank loans from banks. They're going to be used to help set the business up. It sets a clear vision for what they want to try and achieve. It helps identify possible risks and then help guide decisions how they're going to get around those risks. It helps the business think about the staff and the equipment they're going to need, what success is going to look like, and how they're going to measure it. Now, there isn't a particularly set format for a business plan, so I've asked you to put one on a PowerPoint for me, but more likely it'll probably appear on a document that is 1 or 2 pages, but it depends on the size of a business of how large your business plan is going to be. So what appears on a business plan? Well, there's a few various things. So some of these are going to be quite obvious to you because you've already been doing this kind of work. Okay, so you're always going to start off with giving a description of what the business is. Okay, so if you think of what the work that you've done, you've given me a description of the name of the business. You start to think about a logo. You might also include various things about the owner in that business description as well. I've not asked you to do that, but maybe you want to include, a business would include the CV of the person who's going to be running the business. You know, a bank might want to see that if you're asking for money, for example. You're also going to give, secondly, you're going to give an outline of the products and services you're going to be doing. So again, in your PowerPoint, you've given a brief description of what the business does, but you've also outlined the kind of products that you're going to be selling. Okay. I've also asked you to start looking at the kind of competitors you're going to have. So 1, 2, and 3 are something that we've already started to do. You're also going to be looking at who your potential customers are going to be. And that's something that leads us nicely to the 4th aspect of a business plan, which is going to be quite important, which is market research, which is to find information out about your competitors. Okay, so you might be undertaking surveys, running consumer panels or focus groups, or literally just doing research on the internet to find out whether there is a market or whether there's potential customers that are going to buy your products. You're also going to be thinking about your marketing strategy. Okay, so we talked there about the 5 Ps: place, product, price, promotion, and people. Okay, but really what you're looking at is you're going to be thinking about the kind of advertising you're going to do, where you're going to sell your product, how much your product is going to cost, what kind of strategy you're going to have for your pricing. Is it going to start off expensive and then get cheaper like they would do with like a games console, or are you going to start cheaper to gain more customers and then gradually raise the prices? Okay. You're also going to start thinking about the kind of equipment you're going to need in order to run your business. You're going to be thinking about where you can get your raw materials or the supplies you need in order to make your products. Okay, whether you're going to need to transport your goods, whatever. So all the sort of day-to-day running things that you need to think about for your business, it would be outlined here. Okay. You're also going to be thinking about the staff that you need, what skills, qualifications that you're going to need, how many staff you're going to need in each places, how much is going to cost to employ them, okay? Because once you've started to think about 5, 6, and 7, you know, kind of how much you're going to spend on advertising, what equipment you're going to need, the staff that you're going to need, you can start to really have a good picture of how much money you're going to need, okay? So you're likely to sort of be able to predict how much revenue you're going to get, you know, what your costs are going to be, okay? So if there's someone looking to invest in your business, they're going to see maybe when it's going to start making money back, or a bank is going to be looking at whether you're able to pay back the loan that you've asked for back. Okay. Now, what problems often arise from business plans? Okay, well, first of all, you can't really predict what's definitely going to happen. Okay, so it's difficult to say that you're definitely going to sell this amount. You're going to be able to source this thing for X amount or whatever. Okay, you've also got to make sure that it's going to be sort of based on good data. Sometimes you've gathered information is not particularly strong data, so you might be going off incorrect information. If you're creating your own business, and you'll probably find this now, that sometimes you can be a little bit biased or over ambitious and say you're going to sell this amount of numbers, you're going to be able to get something at this cost or whatever. In reality, people try and sort of make things look a lot better than they are in reality. And that is kind of linked to the fact that maybe sometimes people are creating these business plans really have a lack of experience in that particular area. So you're coming up with business ideas now. Are you really experienced enough in that field to really be making these assumptions or these guesses? Okay. So how do businesses and yourself get around these issues? How do you counteract them? Well, you need to be making sure that you do a thorough amount of research. Okay, so that's something we're going to get on to when we're doing our projects over the next few weeks. Okay, speak to experts. Okay, that's what businesses do, and maybe you've got someone who works in a similar field to what you're doing. You can ask them for advice. It's also important to plan for, plan A, plan B, plan C. So plan A is if you do better than expected. Plan B or plan C could be that you do even worse than expected. Okay, so plan for sort of like a real good day and a bad day. Okay, that often sort of helps you counteract any potential issues you might have. Okay, it's also really important to sort of review and update any sort of objectives that you have. Okay, so sometimes you might have been over ambitious, and maybe you need to bring down your level of expectations and reset your business objectives accordingly. Sometimes your business will go better than you've ever dreamed of. So what you would do then is you go, okay, well, we've achieved these aims real quick. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to set our aims and objectives in even higher and see if we can achieve even more. So you're not resting on your laurels. Okay. So in terms of what we've got to do today, you should already have the sheet glued in your books. You've got to make sure that you've written the definitions of the key terms. If you need your phone to do that, that is fine. Okay, I need you to answer the 10 questions on business plans for me, please. And then there is a case study underneath. Okay, once you have completed that, okay, I would really like you to start thinking about doing a survey for your business. Okay, so what I'm looking for there is for you to write 10 questions. Okay, and I like them all to be closed questions, not open questions. And by closed questions, I mean ones that have options. Okay, so like an example would be, what color would you like the uniform to be? Okay, it would be, you give an option of blue, green, red, yellow, or whatever. Okay, so not sort of open-ended ones where you would say, how do you feel about the uniform? They've got to be closed questions. So I'd like you to sort of think about things like product features, what price you're going to charge, where people shop or source their goods, what kind of advertising they like, or what kind of advertising they access. Other specific things that might be only for your product that you want to ask, whether people are going to buy your product. Okay, so any 10 questions that you feel that are relevant, that is going to help get across the point that your product is going to do well. Okay, thanks guys, best of luck today.